My name is Dan Dorval, and I'm President and CEO of Dorval and Cherney Financial Advisors. I am an independent certified financial planner and author of my book, Financial Success for the Rest of Us, Reality-Based Financial Planning for Mainstream America.
Hi, my name is Leah Woodley. I'm an associate financial advisor with Dorval and Cherney Financial Advisors. Our conversations discuss what it means to do quality of life planning in all areas of your life.
Dan, it's that time again. We get to give the Quality of Life Nurse Award to another deserving recipient. Why don't you tell us a little bit about her?
Well, our June Quality of Life Nurse Award winner is Amber Rolandelli, and she is from Methodist Hospital, which is here in the Twin Cities. And she had a very nice nomination from somebody that we knew from previous. And we are very excited to have a discussion with her.
Yes, we are. Let's go ahead and bring her on. Hi, Amber. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Congratulations on being our next Quality of Life Nurse Award recipient.
Thank you. This is so cool and like unexpected that places do this.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Well, and my understanding is that even when Becca reached out to you, that you were somewhat skeptical as far as if it
I
was a real thing or not.
totally.
So we usually just have a brief discussion, ask a few questions. Jolene had given you a very nice nomination, talking
Yeah.
about the difference you make in the quality of life to your patients, your coworkers, and we give this award out every month to a very deserving nurse, and we appreciate you taking the time to have a discussion with us. So the first thing is, my understanding is you're going to school right now, right?
Yep.
And so you're working in the ICU and you're going to
Hmm.
school. Why don't you talk a little bit about nurses who are, juggling those types of demands on their schedule?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm 2 years deep into a 3-year doctorate program to do be a nurse anesthetist. I'm the only one working right now in my class. Not technically supposed to. They know that I am, like I kind of have to. I'm maintaining like health insurance benefits for myself and my kids. It's it's hard, but I also have worked at Methodist for 14 years. So like it's a odd sense of like routine and normalcy for me to go and like maintain my position there amongst like all the change in my life. So it's dicey. It's been hard, but like I'm 2 years in and like man, I'm managing it somehow. Work in school right now, yeah.
It is kind of amazing, just what you can do if you put your mind to
Yeah.
it. Like it's hard.
Hmm.
We
Yep.
hear so many people say that when they're going to be a nurse anesthetist and they're going to school, they say, "Well, you can't work while you're doing that." And it's like I've had a lot of nurses work while they were doing it. It's not easy,
Yeah.
but they certainly can pull it off. Now, I imagine,
Yeah.
did you cut back then while you were doing that?
So I am a 0.45, which is like the minimum to maintain my benefits. And I had actually been a 0.45 for quite some years because I was doing like per diem ICU nurse for work for Alina. So I stopped doing that, but I maintained my FTE at Methodist. So technically I didn't cut back my hours at that job, but overall, yes.
Okay, and then if I understand correctly, you also have three kids.
Yeah. Yep, I do.
So why
Hmm.
don't you talk a little bit about that? So now you got
Yeah.
another whole big set of demands as a
Yeah.
mother of three children.
Hmm.
A lot of nurses, they are juggling that. I have my career, I've got my kids at home. My career can be very emotionally draining. Of course, kids can be very emotionally draining.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about how you handle some of that?
Yeah. Thankfully my kids aren't super small. I think that helps. My oldest is going to be 19 next month and he helps me out a ton. And then my she's in middle school, 8th grade, and then a third grader. The hardest is like they're in so many sports and activities, and I've tried to really maintain that for them because I think it's really, really good for kids. Um, and I think it's good for them to see mom doing the things that she's doing. And like you said, like you can do hard things. It might be really uncomfortable, but like that uncomfortable pain. I don't know if I want to call it pain, but it'll pass. Like so, but it's been a journey to say the least.
So how do you balance out this idea of, there's days where I'm sure being a nurse, you see difficult cases, maybe it's like I said, emotionally draining. Now you got to come home, now you got to be mom. How do you handle that adjustment?
It's hard. I think things were really hard for me during COVID, the shutting off and trying to separate my home life and my work life. And I think that's really when I got a hold of it, I felt very protective of my time at home and that I deserved some peace and happiness and quiet, and so did my kids. So, taking care of myself, doing things for myself that fills my cup is really the only way that I've found a successful separation between like the terrible things that I see at work and coming home. And when I start skipping those things, then I can see it getting chaotic in my life and not being able to sort things through and everything gets crazy.
If you don't mind, for other nurses, what are some of those things that help you fill your cup?
Yeah. For sure, physical activity. That is huge because I think it is already a physically exhausting and demanding job, especially, well, any inpatient bedside nurse job. Um, and the emotional draining part of it is like you just don't have much left in the tank. But oddly enough, once you make yourself be active, you get a second wind almost, but it does so much for me being active and going outside. Being active outside is huge. That part too.
Yes, I definitely agree. I love that you shared that for other nurses. For nurses who may be watching this and want to know, how can I go about improving the quality of life of others? What are some recommendations that you would make?
Of like patients, families, anyone?
Anyone. It could be patients, coworkers, whatever comes top of mind for you.
Okay, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
For those who want to make a
Yeah,
difference and improve the quality of life of others, what
yeah.
recommendations would you make?
I think just listening to people. I think listening and not interjecting your thoughts, feelings, opinions. That is, it goes so far. I've had patients tell I just be quiet and I listen to people. And I've had patients say to me so many times, "Thank you for listening to me." Yes.
That is critically important. Well, congratulations again. Thank you for sharing that advice. And we are so honored to be able to recognize you yet again. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so cool. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
so we give a $500 award for this. We're going to send that out to you here, in the next week or so.
Yeah.
And I suspect you can find use for that being a mom and being cool
Yeah.
at the same time. And, it's just we have these conversations with extremely deserving nurses, and we think you deserve recognition beyond, just kind of the stuff that nurses kind of hear about. But this has been a great conversation. We appreciate all that you do for
Thank
everyone,
you.
both your family, your coworkers, your patients. We love having these types of conversations.
That's so cool, you guys. It's just you don't get the recognition and hear it from others as much as you. It's just good to hear. It really is. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You are very welcome.